All right, so I just finished up setting up my heavy bag. I wasn't gonna make a video, but I figured that I'd make a video because there's probably a lot of people with a lot of questions on setting up the Title MMA heavy bag because the instructions, they seem kind of generic. The instructions, it seems like they give the same instructions for a lot of different bags. So it's these. Looking at the parts list, it's not even what came in it. You know, it says 1 bolt, 1 nut, 2 washers. I had to buy more because they don't come with the heavy bag for some reason. You definitely need a drill driver or impact driver because there's no way you're gonna screw anything into the wall just using a socket wrench. So the biggest thing is if you're going into wall studs, you're not gonna be able to put that heavy bag up without ripping up either that stud or the whole bag ripping off. So I put these 2x4s. So the top one, as you see, it screws into 4 different places. So I could have used a 4x4 or I guess 6x2 instead, but I chose 2x4 stacked up on each other, so it's 4 inches wide, covers the whole thing, and it gives it a little bit more support. I drilled it into 2 studs and then put the wall mount, the top of the bar at the top. Then with the bottom, it was the 2x4, just longer. Now, some of the things that I wanted to point out were, when you set this up, this isn't, it doesn't go flush with the wall as you see here. So don't worry about that. Just make sure that you have a 2x4 just so that you can screw into it. It gives it a little bit more stabilization. You're not breaking up your stud, because if you're going to screw into the stud at this angle, it would come out the side. The bolt here, I needed to exchange it. I had an extra bolt in the house. I just swapped that out because it wasn't long enough to keep the washers in on both sides. So yeah, so the installation is pretty much easy. The hardest part was putting up these 2x4s here. But 2x4s, obviously, you know, you use level. Try to keep it as level as possible. When you put the support rails, make sure you push them up as far as possible. You know, so it actually does support. So the whole point of it is, so as the heavy bag hangs and it pulls, you know, it puts pressure on the actual wall, keeping this up. If not, it would just rip out. Now this is the 36-inch one, so it goes out pretty far, as you see. It's meant to go all the way around. As you hit the bag, I'm planning on putting a banana bag, a Muay Thai bag on it, but I think I have enough room once I clear out my garage, obviously, with a speed bag. And yeah, I'll post another video whenever I have the bag up. But as far as right now, that's all I could think of as far as tips. I'm putting up the bag since it's not really instructional to the heavy bag. Now, I brought a spring to it. I bought a spring so that it'll release some of the tension off of the wall, but make sure you get carabiners or D-rings because, as you see, you're not going to hook this on or try to slide it on like you would a key ring. It's actually impossible the way you would do it, because if you were trying to do that, it'd have to come out the bottom. But yeah, that pretty much covers all the tips that I could think of while putting this bag up. Things that I had to adjust to make it work. If you have any questions, let me know. I put up a couple different bags and maybe be able to help you out. Thank you.